Alex Eala ends singles run at the Abu Dhabi Open. Here's how she did in the competition. Ups and downs are inevitable in sports, and the possibility of losing is always part of the journey. At the recent Abu Dhabi Open held at the International Tennis Center in Zayed Sports City, Alex Eala showcased her game with enthusiasm and discipline, navigating both victories and defeats throughout the competition. Facing Zeynep Sönmez from Turkey, Alex opened her campaign with a solid 6-4, 6-3 victory. The real test, however, came against Alexandra Sasnovich, a former WTA number 29, where Alex showed that it is never over until the final ball is struck. The encounter lasted 2 hours and 51 minutes, with Alex dropping the opening set 2-6. She regrouped in the second, battling back for a 6-4 win, before holding her nerve in a tense third-set tiebreak to close out the match 7-6-5 and secure her place in the Abu Dhabi Open quarterfinals. Grabe. Napasabak talaga yung tibri ing dibdib ko at sigurado ako na ko din kaya congrats mga kababayan. Maraming salamat pa, Alex expressed during her on-court interview. These moments are moments I only have dreamed about. Selling out stadiums is insane, and being in these matches in particular are just really the ones that kind of stick with you. And I've had a lot of them in the past year, so I'm really happy with this win, she added. Pulling off the comeback under immense pressure was no easy feat for Alex, who acknowledged how much her opponent stepped up during the match. I think she started really well in the tight moments. I think she also stepped up, especially with the serve and a lot of winners. Despite the challenge, Alex stayed locked in and leaned on her fighting spirit. I really tried my best in those moments to fight. I really tried to find the fight. And in the end, when I was coming back, I was able to find it, so I'm really proud of that. And once again, the crowd is very proud of that fight as well, she added. However, Alex bowed out in the quarterfinals after falling to Ekaterina Alexandrova, who just made her top 10 debut last October, the highest singles ranking of her career. Ekaterina, the tournament's number 2 seed, sealed the win in straight sets, 6-3, 6-3. She may have ended her stint at the singles, but Alex is still in contention for the competition's doubles tournament alongside her partner Janice Tien from Indonesia. In the world of professional tennis, every match is a story, a collision of skill, strategy, emotion, pressure, and passion. At the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open this year, Filipina star Alexandra Alex Eala wrote a chapter that will be remembered not just for its result, but for the spirit she displayed from match to match. Though her singles run ended in the quarterfinals, the way she competed spoke volumes about who she is and where she's heading. Sunrise, a confident opening, setting the tone in round 1. Every great journey begins with a first step, and for Alex Eala, that step was confident and assertive. In her opening round, she faced Zeynep Sönmez, a tough and determined opponent. What could have been a cautious start became a statement of intent. Alex played with focus, balance, and composure, securing a straight sets victory 6-4, 6-3. It wasn't just a win. It was affirmation. A declaration that she belonged here, in the main draw of a WTA 500 event, against the best players in the world. As she stepped off the court, you could feel her confidence building, readying for the battles that lay ahead. Fire, the moment that stole the show. A comeback for the ages. If headlines were written for tennis matches alone, her second-round clash against Alexandra Sasnovich would have topped them. Down an early break, struggling with momentum, and facing what many thought was an inevitable loss, Alex dug deep. In the deciding set, she found herself down 4-0, with Sasnovich controlling the flow and confidence. But tennis, much like life, is never played on paper. It's played point by point, heartbeat by heartbeat. And then came the spark. Alex fought, fiercely, clawing back game by game. And as she did, something remarkable happened. The crowd, loud and electric, rallied behind her. Every winning shot drew cheers. Every brave return drew gasps. The atmosphere became electric, and suddenly, the impossible felt within reach. When Sasnovich held match point at 5-2, it seemed like the end was near. But instead of folding, Alex responded with grit. She saved the match point, then another. A serve, a return, a series of brave shots, and suddenly she had turned the tide. In a dramatic tiebreak that mirrored her spirit, Alex prevailed 7-6-5, after nearly 3 hours of relentless effort. This wasn't just a win. It was a declaration. I am here. I belong. Spoken not in words, but in heart, resilience, and courage. Cross Swords quarterfinals, a test against a titan. Every great rally eventually meets a steep challenge. Alex's quarterfinal opponent was none other than Ekaterina Alexandrova, the tournament's number 2 seed and a player ranked inside the global top 15. Experienced, powerful, precise, Alexandrova was exactly the kind of test that separates good players from great ones. From the first serve of the match, the Russian controlled the tempo. She played with authority and experience, riding her big shots and deep placement to a 6-3, 6-3 victory. For many, a loss like this can be disappointing. But for Alex, this match was not a setback. It was a bridge to the next level. Each rally, point, and exchange offered insight. How to construct points more aggressively, how to handle early pressure, how to balance patience with opportunity. And even in defeat, her poise remained intact, gracious, focused, and already forward-looking. Brain what this run really meant. At its core, Eala's Abu Dhabi Open singles journey was more than just wins and losses. It was a showcase of evolution. Glowing Star 1. Fearless confidence. From start to finish, Alex played fearlessly, unafraid of the scoreboard, unafraid of reputation, and unafraid of the moment. Beating Sasnovich after trailing so deeply showed a fearless mindset that is rare even among seasoned pros. Flexed biceps 2. Mental toughness. Saving match point in a deciding set, in front of a massive crowd, requires more than skill. It requires belief. And Alex had that in spades. She didn't just fight for a point, she fought for her dreams. Luggage 3. Lessons learned. Losing to Alexandrova is not a failure, it's a lesson. Someone who has spent years in the top tiers, with powerful strokes and tactical mastery, was the perfect mirror, showing Alex areas to sharpen and refine as she rises. Globe showing Europe-Africa the bigger picture. This run in Abu Dhabi was more than a personal milestone. For Filipino tennis and Southeast Asian tennis, it signaled a new era. Players like Alex are no longer footnotes at big events. They are contenders, crowd favorites, and sources of national pride. Fans from around the world, especially from the Philippines, flocked to watch her performances, turning the stands into a sea of cheers. The atmosphere at her matches didn't just uplift Alex, it electrified the tournament. And while the singles run concluded earlier than she hoped, her journey in Abu Dhabi wasn't over. Partnered with Indonesian rising talent Janice Tien, Alex advanced deep into the doubles draw, showing once again her versatility and competitive fire. Orange heart more than tennis. At 20 years old, Eala is already a symbol of resilience, of dedication, of what happens when talent meets heart. Her performance at the Mubadala Abu Dhabi